so much better. I'll give you a word. Accept. That doesn't sound like a big word, but look at its meaning. It means to consent to agree to. The definition is so good, and right at the moment it escapes me. Oh, take the word abyss. Abyss is an immeasurable, deep, wide space. Is there an abyss between you and God? You can have a moral abyss, a spiritual abyss, a religious abyss, an information abyss, but it's a great word. And abyssal means pertaining to the bottom waters of the deep sea. Do you ever feel it like that sometimes? These are why the words are so important. Accomplish and accomplished. So you do the words, that's another 15 minutes. You count blessings and you count pure thoughts. Let me show you a picture of that this morning. Here they are. See this? This is counting blessings, where you say 1, 2, 3, 4 and get up to 70. Each one of these is worth 70. And then these are love, happy, cheer, humor, and enthusiasm. That's what these are. And these are the blessings. That's the big blessings. The universe, born alive and healthy, food, clothing, and a home, freedom and independence, no catastrophes. Finances, education, careers, and spouses. Well, he's saying something, Greg. Can you see? What's he saying?
I'm not sure, maybe the battery's low or something.
No, it's on electric.
Well, that's my camera, I guess.
Yeah, it seems to be fine.
Yeah, that's okay.
What?
Yours is fine.
It's my camera.
Oh, excuse me. Sony's all make the same. Oh, yeah, sure. They use the same language. Okay, and then you look through the day, what you have to do for day. You've made your list of what, and it's comes straight from God. You know that list. Oh yeah, you write down that list that comes straight from God telling you what to do today. And then you count blessings a little more, and then that's it. That is your alone time with God in your sanctuary. Nobody else is supposed to be around. I have cats that shouldn't be there, but they're so happy. I don't do anything about it.
When do you do your exercises?
The next thing after the God first is to make 10 telephone calls. And the next thing after the 10 telephone calls is to tidy the house and take care of the cars and do the exercises. And did you want me to show you the exercises?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You have to get, yeah, you want...
Where do you usually do them?
If Greg would move the tripod back to the door, and then you go in front of the, next to that tripod,
Okay.
and then I'll do them right here.
Perfect.
Yeah, keep it going.
It's going. Alright.
Oh, it doesn't have any battery, sweet.
Yeah, it does.
No, it doesn't.
It didn't shut off.
No, it's going.
It was charging the
Yeah,
battery.
it's charging up. So.
No, it wasn't, because it was taking a picture. Okay, so I'll give you a battery.
Yeah, there's a battery on it. It's running right now. So.
It's recording right now.
Here you are, Greg, and there's an outlet over there. In fact, there's 10 of them.
Okay, whenever you're ready.
Okay, the first one is for your knees, and you try to get up without using your hands. Not easy. And same thing here. Not easy. Now, that you do 6 of those. And the next one is, I have to step back, and I think I'll face you even though I don't face, I face the wall when I do them. 6 of these. 6 of these.
Could you, I'm sorry, Glendora. Can I direct you to move, just move, yeah, right there.
Well, I gotta have room.
Yeah,
Do you have do those over?
Yes, please.
Uh,
I also need to. Can you click that light off too?
Yep.
Because it's pointing right into the camera.
You got a good shot there. Did you get the shot of my gluteus maximus?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'll edit that out.
So where do I pick up? Okay. So 6 of those, and you put the pillow on the floor because you're going to lie down on the floor in a minute. Now, 6 of those, 6 of these, 6 of these, and then and now comes your shoulders. Because you know how doctors today, their new fun is to operate on, what is this? Rotor cap. Rotor cap. That's the greatest new operation. Now, your head and neck. 6 of those. 6 of these. 6 of these. Left and right. Clockwise and counterclockwise. And then touch your elbow with your knees. Or touch your knees with your elbow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, that's the first third. Now comes the airplane exercise. 1, keep your knees stiff. 2, 6 of those. And then comes touching your toes. Good old-fashioned touching your toes and look up to God. Okay, 6 of those. Touching your toes is one thing, touching the floor is another. That's even harder. Okay, now comes shalom, salam, whether you're Jewish or whether you're a skier. Okay, 6 of those. And now comes your gastrocnemius, that's it, or I guess it's your Achilles. That's that great big muscle that goes from the top of the gastrocnemius down to the heel, or Achilles heel. So you do that. And now, are you ready for this? This is jump rope. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I just thought your microphone is not here. That's good. Okay, next one is you go to the wall and you straighten out your knees as much as you can. Straighten them right out. And do that for a little while. Oh, it's so good for your knees. You can feel how good it is for your knees. I was saying there that you can feel how good it is for your knees. Now, down on the floor. Bicycle. So you do 10 of those, or 15 or 20. And now, rocking chair. And you do 5 of those. And then you come up and you cross toe. Cross toe. Cross toe. Now we're down to the last one. And it is hard. You've got to be in good shape to do this one. You have to keep your knees straight. You have to keep your toes pointed. And then you have to lift all the way from the hips to the tip of your toes. Boy, that's a hard one. 2, 3, 4, 5. You can't do that if you've got any lumbar problems. That's it. Once a day.
And how long have you been doing these exercises for?
I can't remember, but as long as I can remember. Why did I do them? I learned them in high school, but I know they're good. They're good.
Thanks for the demo.
Stuff that belongs on top of the oven, on the oven. That's showing in the background, isn't it? Let's put it over there, why not?
It's okay.
Keeping a ladybug.
Oh,
Ladybug.
give her something to eat. Give her some peanut butter. Here.
I don't know if she eats peanut butter there.
Yes, she does. Actually, she would like something wet. Ah, applesauce.
Oh, it just flew.
She flew away?
Just flew in the window.
Where'd she go?
It's crawling up the window right.
Where, honey? I don't see her.
Right there. It'll die right there. While crawling around.
Here, honey. Ah, she's got it. She's eating it. She's eating it. That's good applesauce. It'll have water in it and sugar. That'll help her a lot. Thanks, Greg. Here, this is what I mean. Put all this stuff in. Thick raccoons love cream of wheat. I cook it for them. Put sugar on it, brown sugar, and creamer. You know, vegetarian creamer. Greg, you want some of this shake? This is a delicious shake. Awfully good.
Yes, please.
Okay.
Take some of that cup.
Where'd the ladybug go?
Oh.
Oh.
Is she eating?
It's on the curtain now. There's a
Oh, she
little dot in
didn't
the curtain. I got some close-ups on this camera there.
I love it.
Yeah, it's like doesn't like to be bothered, I guess.
Oh, I'm sorry, Vic.
When they get bothered, they jump and fly.
I did my exercises twice today. Twice, once for you.
Great.
Okay, now.
Get this in here. And whenever you're ready.
Folks, I wanted you to be so kind as to listen to me while I tell you about. I've been in television for 50 years. Ever since I would say 1950. 51. And that would be broadcast television, and then I started in cable television in 1972. And all of the public access corporations are all celebrating their 25th anniversary. And it has been, I have spent 20% of my life changing from one format to another. Of course, this is only since tape began, and that was in around 73 or 4. Well, actually, tape came out in 69. But for little people, it wasn't until Sony came out and invented the Sony Porter Pack, and we had the half-inch reel-to-reel tape. Well, I've gone from half-inch reel-to-reel to 8 millimeter to 3/4 inch and 3/4 inch to mini DV and mini DV to DVD. I didn't stop along the way for beta. I didn't get ensnared in that.
I did.
Gregory said he did. And but that's funny. I have spent at least 20% of my life going from one format to another. And as time consuming as television is, it must be a quarter of it that I spent dubbing it in this format for that person and dubbing it in that format for the other. Now you see, I started to tell you how great God is in making new things. And well, God really went lickety-split when it came to circuit boards and solid state and made all these things. And now it's even faster than ever, the electronics. So that all ties in with that meditation about God.
Great. And then, just I wanted to go over have like an intro to go into the women's dinner. Remember when we went to the women's dinner? There's a really good scene of us at the women's dinner. But I wanted you to kind of give an intro to what the women's dinner is and that day, who you invited and who showed up.
Okay, give me an example.
So you'd say when was it? Last fall?
It was in the May.
In May, the St. Luke's Lutheran Church had a women's dinner.
And I invited you.
Yeah, and you invited Victoria, and then name a couple of the other people you invited, and then say who showed up.
You.
Because it was me and Sarah, right?
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right, Sarah Schubert.
Yeah, because I want to have like a nice way to introduce that day.
Now tell me what your intent for it is. You wanted
to narrate that scene.
Yeah, but what did you want people to think about it?
I want people to know what the purpose of the women's dinner was, and then who were the people who showed up that day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So just an intro as you're walking into the women's dinner on the documentary. Your voice will be explaining what it is.
I get you.
You got it? Let's see. I'm having a little buzzing. It seems to be me.
Take your time. How you doing, Greg?
Oh, good.
Oh, something about where I am. Okay, I'm just going to stay right here. Go ahead.
Well, we're going to the women's club of the St. Luke's Lutheran Church. Very sweet people who try to do all kinds of kind things all over the world. So we're going to the women's dinner, and I invited, I think, about 10 or 12 women. And the only two who came were Victoria Carezzi and Sarah Schubert. That's okay by me. And they had this very fancy dinner. You had to dress up, and you had tablecloths, and you had crystal settings, and silverware, and lovely plates. But the best thing of it all, the men waited on us. That was the best thing at all. They came and they got on their knees to us and they brought us everything that we needed to our tables, and it was just wonderful. What a night that was to have the men wait. And Barbara Slater was the president, and she said a beautiful extemporaneous prayer.
Great.
Is that enough?
That's perfect. Because can you describe the church you go to and what you experience at church? Like why, or basically say what church you go to and why you go. If you can think of it. You don't have to answer any of my questions. And if you go to multiple churches, that's fine.
Yeah, I would mention all of them once I go. Okay, when you're ready?
Yep.
God, thank you for the churches. Thank you so much for the churches. Thank you that people go there and all they do is talk about you. And they praise you and they recognize your great creations. And they recognize this beautiful world that you have created and that you keep it in operation and in maintenance. The sun doesn't fall down to the earth. It's there the next morning. The moon comes up once a month and it's so beautiful. You just keep it operating so beautifully. And you go on to new creations. You make the people feel so good. It's their time of strength and power. Going to church is a grand, grand experience. It's also fun, although it takes a lot of time, it's fun to dress up and show your reverence and show your respect, show our respect to you. It's fun to read the powerful words in the Bible. And now the Protestant churches have made such a good work of the music ministry. The hymns that they have written, the organs that cost $60, $70, $80,000. So a magnificent instrument, so powerful. And then we have Pastor Slater, and I never seen anybody give himself so completely to you. His whole life is you. He goes here, there, and everywhere in his little tracker, and he just works morning, noon, and night serving you. And I tell him that, you know, and it's enthusiasm, it never fails. That man is always enthusiastic and always jolly and extremely compassionate, of course. That's the Reverend James Henry Slater III. He does 2 services on Sunday morning. He does Emmanuel Lutheran, and I go to that service. And then he comes up about 10 miles and goes to St. Luke's Lutheran service. And he makes them both. The first one's at 9 o'clock, the second one is 11 o'clock. And he stops here, and he picks me up. And I get chauffeured to church in a clerical collar. I love it. And then the social time afterwards. And people are concerned for you, and they laugh a lot. People in church really... my best jokes I've learned in church. So, and I also go to the Seventh-day Adventist Church, which is a grand service. I favor the Seventh-day Adventists because they do not eat meat. They are vegans. And so I favor them. I have something to say about churches. I think they are cruel to animals and the food that they eat. I think they're cruel to plants. Poinsettia time, they bring them in at Christmas and then they just leave them to die of thirst. That's no good. If you're going to bring a plant to church to celebrate Christmas, then you take it home afterwards and care for it like a child. And they're the same thing, of course, obvious, you know, Easter lilies. I go to the Reformed Church, the Dutch Reformed Church. It's called the Dutch Protestant Church. It's called the Reformed Church. In America, it's called the, well, I guess that's it. But the biggest and best Protestant Dutch church, the biggest and best, is the Hour of Power, Robert Schuller. That's a Reformed church in America. He went out to California 30 years ago. He didn't have a cent. He didn't know anybody. And he started up a church in an outdoor movie lot. An outdoor, you know, what am I trying? Drive-in theater. Yeah. And, of course, Norman Vincent Peale is Reformed Church in America. Power of positive thinking. Go to church. Go to church. And then you have the solidarity of these people. When I came down with that Lyme disease, and it got worse and worse every day, until finally my church congregants said, you call. You know, you call and you go. 3 of them, Jane Dean, Sarah Schubert, who came to the women's dinner along with Victoria, and John Schubert, her husband. We left here at 7 o'clock, and I could hardly move. It's awful what that Lyme disease does to you. You cannot even hold up your head. Isn't that a funny thing? Well, excuse me, a terrible thing. And we went to the hospital in Albany, and they stayed with me all night long. We didn't get back home until 4 a.m. And John Schubert will say, I'm okay, but then the telephone rings, and somebody's in trouble. Drop everything, and go. So the solidarity that you have, not only with the people, but with God. Go to church.
When you had Lyme disease, is that what made your eye swollen? Remember your eye was really swollen? It was last winter that you videotaped it in one of your shows. Your eye swelled up real big.
Yeah, now tell me some more, see if I can remember.
Did you get bit by a spider or something like that? Or?
You got bit, I think you got bit by something, or maybe it was the tick.
Was that it, Greg?
Well, sometimes a spider bite, it does that.
Okay.
I can't remember what the swelling of the eye was about. Was that here, up here, in Columbia County, or was that down in Westchester?
Up here.
I can't remember what the swelling of the eye was about.
That's okay. I just wondered if it was.
I don't know what it was, some infection or something.
Greg thinks it was, or it could have been an allergy.
Yeah.
I know my eyes have swollen. We lived in an apartment that was cold and we kept the gas stove running, and I believe that caused a terrible allergy, but Benadryl took it away, right away. And then I remember I had a terrible swelling of the eye and it was all red. And guess what? When the redness and the swelling went away, I saw a little red thing here with a hole in it, and that's what Greg was talking about, a spider bite. But Benadryl took care of that.
Or a tick bite. It was a get bit by a tick.
No, they don't do that. A tick will make a bullseye, but they won't make a swelling all over.
Yeah.
And that's, by the way, that will be Lyme disease when it's a tick bite. And that comes, and you'd be smart to get the tick out. But with swelling of the eye, I was in the bathroom one morning, and this darling kitten came in running into the bathroom, and my hands were wet, my face was wet because I was doing my ablutions, and I tried to get my feet out so as not to step on the kitten, and the kitten put me off balance, and I put my hand on the bathtub to get balance. Guess what? My hand was wet, so I lost complete balance, and the head came down and hit the edge of the bathtub here. Well, I'm telling you, that certainly was a swelling and a redness for a long time. A crazy little kitten.
Okay, I have a question that I haven't asked you before. Is there something specific that you want to do before you go to heaven? A place to go see, a person to go see? Could you put a finger on something?
Victoria just asked me, is there some place I wanted to go before I go to heaven, or a person I wanted to see, or a trip I wanted to take? No, I'm ready. I feel that I'm up to date. There is one thing I would love to do, though. That thing I was just telling you about, cast out unclean spirit. Why do I want to cast out the unclean spirit? Because it opens up the person to the joy and the excitement and the wonder and the happiness of this great life and of this great world and our great God. I would love to learn how to do that. Jesus Christ gave the disciples that power to cast out unclean spirits. I was thinking about casting out, he said, all manner of sickness and all manner of disease. He said, heal the sick, cleanse the leper, cast out the devil. And I said, boy, I would love to do that. But then I thought about it. Folks, sickness and accidents are our own fault. We bring them on ourselves. We make our own trouble. And you will find that in every case of sickness, guilt. And even Pastor Slater said this to me, that guilt is a big part of sickness. You get rid of the guilt. And it's true. You remember the Christ, the man would be on a stretcher, and instead of saying a prayer for him, he says, rise, your sins are forgiven. That made the person well. Guilt has a big part of it. But don't worry about guilt. It's easy. You simply say, I did wrong. I'm sorry I did wrong. I don't ever want to do it again. It makes me feel bad all over. I will take the rap. I will atone. I will say I'm sorry. I'll never do it again. And I'll take the rap. I'll take the punishment for it. It's not hard to deal with it. And the spoken word is made a whole lot easier if you sing it in a hymn. Let me do one for you.